is my father, King Edward VIII, who was married to my mom, Claudia Ruth O'Keefe, from Madison, Wisconsin, sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe. Now then, I was kidnapped in 1941 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey Childers. I married a Childers. My Uncle George helped in my kidnapping. I didn't find out until 1983, after I was in a political campaign to replace a congressman, U.S. congressman I'd written about in a medical malpractice book called MD, A License to Kill. I also wrote about mind control and mind control murders done in patterns, which can be proven. But this is my uncle in 1939, the year I was born, helping Roosevelt, who had appointed Kennedy ambassador to England, 1936 till they kicked him out in 1946, and the New World Order, which is the Freemasons, and they refer to them now as Illuminati, helped orchestrate or did and kidnap me. I'm Victoria II, heir to the British Crown, not this fraud, who's using my money. She's given away Great Britain illegally. The treaties she signed are illegal. She should be hauled before a world court. The only problem there is it's controlled by her and her son Charles, who's supposed to be next in line. They're grooming William and Kate, and then George, they named after my uncle who helped kidnap me, the gall, and steal the crown and take down Great Britain. What I wanted to write about was, or say here before the tape goes off again, my father never married this woman. She's an American spy. This is a look-alike and a double. Here's just one of the mind control murders where they're treating him for mental illness, which is torture, misdiagnosis, every kind of law-broken, illegal, wrapped up in that, if they prosecuted it right. But Larry Flint, I don't know if I said this, and there's a big point to this one. Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, in 1978, March 6, 1978. He even says that in this endorsement here. And I lived in Marietta, Moonraker Apartments, which Penthouse had owned. They were the only plush place I lived, kind of, for there at that time. And I was writing the book as MD, A License to Kill. Later, the License to Kill, the Bond movie, came out with Timothy Dalton, and Moonraker came out later. So this was pre-done, the MD, A License to Kill, and living at Moonraker in Cobb County. And of course, that's Roger Moore in Moonraker movie, another Bond. Now, 007. Now then, Georgia O'Keefe, my aunt, when I found out about my kidnapping in 1983, she has Ghost Ranch out in Abiquiu, near Santa Fe. And people's first question to discredit me, I guess, it's really weird how they respond to it all, is, well, why didn't she help you? Well, for one reason, my aunt would have. She did all she could, I understand. Now the O'Keefes have been murdered. But that's not just it. Hamilton, what was his name? Last name was Hamilton. One Hamilton was supposed to be taking care of her, as she had gone almost blind. And by the way, one of her paintings, 44 point something, million. I've forgotten what it was now. Just so she certainly would have helped me, and she did help my mother try to save me when they were trying to kill me. But the point is, he tied up illegally, and since this has been orchestrated by the Freemasons, the Illuminati, they obviously can do anything they want to. So all of her estate was tied up. But I wanted to get to this. Mind control murders were done using patterns, and a lot more than this, but this is Mark and Scott. Mark is heir after me, Scott. That's an old photo of us. That's me, Victoria II, heir to the crown. Like I said, 99 years still put on my father's illegal takedown in my birth. This is one of the mind control murders here. Gabby Gifford was a U.S. Congresswoman from Tucson, Arizona. Her husband is NASA, which is not far from where they took me. And how do you think this was all funded? Um, Hostage taking, which I am, and which the British are, has all forms, not just money, across from one palm to the other. So this is Mark Kelly, and he's a twin to Scott Kelly, and both of them are astronauts. I was given the name of a twin when I was brought to Moulton, Alabama, which is, I've been saying 45 miles. It's a little bit, it's Decatur and then Huntsville, so it's a little bit more. But Larry Flint was shot in Lawrenceville. I said that, I think. And I was out there to replace the doctor when his, that I wrote about, one of them, Larry McDonald, in 83. And Mr. Flynn, I was out there twice in October, told me some things that were going to happen, like the parody of the Falwell, who I ended up here in Roanoke, and Jerry Falwell, the Liberty University in Lynchburg, and he has sued Flint. And I'm living on the Appalachian Trail up here just to have a place to be. This is part of what they did to me, froze and starved. But anyway, he's in court here in the Poff building. I ended up being arrested. You don't get all the background on it, nothing. And I'm arrested and taken to the Poff building. And what I get, and I wanted to get to, is Ennis was a parole officer that was supposed to find me a place to live, and it's all been a joke to keep me homeless. He was the parole officer assigned to Flint before this happened, and I was here when Flint was in Roanoke before, with the Falwell case. Now then, Ennis Cosby is the name of Bill Cosby's son, and I've said they were done in patterns. And he was killed by a Russian immigrant when he pulled off, his car went bad, Ennis's did, and he pulled off on an exit outside L.A. So now Bill Cosby is being accused, and I don't know if mind control was used on Bill Cosby or what. What I wanted to say here was Scotty was the name of one of the NBC people that have weighed in on that. It sounds like he really did do it. Now, whether Cosby did, whether he was under mind control, I don't know. I wanted to get this in, too. In 1975, I sued Victor Gonzalez. He was a doctor in Atlanta, and then I started doing this medical malpractice book. There was a seal because my attorney was good, I think. He was Eugene Kaiser, a former Fulton County, Atlanta DA. But I was tied up. I couldn't do anything. A seal was put on what I was telling about Victor Gonzalez. He's still in practice, and I think his son is a psychiatrist, Victor Gonzalez Jr. in Atlanta area, Marietta. He told me personally, this SOB Victor Gonzalez, that he had killed 2 patients because they were telling about him raping them. One was Cindy, a 12-year-old girl who I saw her come out of his office in the condition, and I did see the other one that he told about, an Eastern Airline stewardess, a very lovely girl, and this has all been covered up. The lab, I found out when I hired a girl to retype my book, that she told me to call her if I wanted to know how it was going, and I called the number, and it was the Atlanta Crime Lab that answered, and then hooked me up to her. So they were typing it. I was told that Victor Gonzalez at that time was under investigation. So this man has raped, used psychiatry, and I wonder how many have, to rape and torture and kill. He's a psychopath. I've forgotten, Kenneth Dunn Reagan, okay, R-A-G-A-N, was a doctor there that stood up and testified against this, and a seal put on it. How do you put a seal on rape and killing? But anyway, you know what happened to him? He was run out of town. He ended up, this doctor who told the truth, he ended up in Pensacola, Florida. So this is just a long line of what they've done to me. I had antifreeze put in me, and should have died April Fool Day of '80. I was carried ill